Welcome back, everybody, to the Yins Boys podcast. The day has finally arrived.
Just gonna product placement here.
Well, yeah, product placement. I was more so referring to our guest here.
Our guest, yes.
The first time on video, too, everybody, Verne.
Finally.
It's about time. And speaking of the merchandise that we have our product placement here.
Currently repping right now.
The new guest also gets some. We have the koozies, and we have
A beautiful made in the USA, printed right here in the city of Pittsburgh t-shirt.
Look at that.
Beautiful, high quality.
USA made. Nice.
It is.
Absolutely.
USA made,
Much
USA
appreciated.
printed. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. More to come, too, for everybody out there. It will be posted later on
I already
our
posted.
social. Oh, you already did? Okay.
But
well, this
it's out there.
episode,
But
yeah.
It's long gone.
It'll
We're
be
a week
fine.
in,
As usual, all of our socials, speaking of which, we have the Instagram, Snapchat, which is very rarely used, once a week or so. But don't forget to call and text 412-613-1116 and email therealyinsboys@gmail.com.
Perfect.
For my hosts, I also got something for you guys.
Oh!
In case you ever get a beer tap,
Hell yeah.
the very rare and unmade current product, Rolling Rock Light.
Look at that.
Screw on top.
Oh, that's a tap handle. That's
yeah.
awesome. That's badass.
You guys probably don't remember Mammoth Light. You're a little, or Mammoth Ice.
I
You're
don't
a
know
little
that I
younger than
did.
me.
Yeah.
That was Rolling Rock Ice. It came out maybe
Interesting.
95, 96. It was good. It was strong. It was like 5.5%. Tasted just like Rolling Rock. It knocked you on your ass.
Well, I'll tell you what. We do have the kegerator down here. I wonder if that
should
handle threads off, because if it does,
it
this will
does.
fit right onto
It
it.
should. It's a standard.
We're going to check it out. Thank you very much. Very nice.
Yeah, no problem. And this came from my dad's. I doubt he ever smoked chillin' moose cigars, but it's a nice box
Hell yeah. Well,
used for multiple.
we'll have some goodies, I'm
Storage
sure, that
items.
can be put into this for sure.
Ken does smoke cigars. Let it
I actually do. I 100% do. And maybe I'll try these. Maybe he did. Maybe he actually smoked some of these. Who knows?
But be aware, it does cause cancer and birth defects if you're ever pregnant.
Is
If-
it
if
only,
you're
Men can get
only-
pregnant now.
Only in the state of California.
That's what I was going to see. Yeah.
Only in the state of California.
That's Prop 9. Is that what that is?
I think so.
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, I mean, without further ado,
Verne.
we'll roll into it. Verne, tell everybody about yourself, man.
It's a long story. we only got an hour.
Right.
Well, this is my brother here
That's right.
from the same mother. Well, I guess I'm here for January 6th.
We can start with that. We can
Yeah.
roll into some of your
I'm
other
a
stories.
political
Yep.
creature, also a social creature. I've had my years of a lot of bad habits too, but those are mostly behind me. But yeah, I guess the place to start is January 6th. That's
Sure,
the main
yeah.
reason I'm here. This is your January 6th anniversary edition.
It is,
show.
yeah.
I think you should plug your social media.
You absolutely should do that. Yeah.
Social
Right-
media.
right off the rip.
And we'll talk about the lead up to it a little bit. 2015 Trump. I liked Rand Paul. I like Ron Paul
Ron.
especially, and Rand. You know, the apple don't fall too far from the
Sure.
tree.
A little bit different, but yeah.
He tries. He does okay. Better than most. I give him that. But once I realized Rand wasn't going to have any chance, and Donald Trump was the best apple in a basket full of rotten apples,
Yeah.
I got behind Trump. I got on Twitter. I never started using a computer to 2010, 2011, so I'm behind in that. But I was like fascinated with social media because I had never done that before, and so I'm on Twitter and I'm enjoying it. But anyways, to the point, my Twitter site is Electric Uncle Sam, Northeast Supply Company at Northeast Supply Company. But I got on the Trump train. I got a couple thousand followers in a year just joining the Trump train and trying to promote him because he got better. The
Yeah.
more he talked, the more he did, the better he looked to me. And for the first time, from what I saw, for the first time, we had a legitimate candidate since Ron Paul that actually cared about America. And I only agree with maybe 60% of what Trump does, but he loves America, and that's what's important. So, my social media, plugging my social media.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Don't forget to, I don't want to interrupt you. Make sure to you at least a little more directional to the mic. I want everybody to hear this. This is important stuff.
So, Electric Uncle Sam, I stole that from Primus.
Great band.
Great band. But it fits, Electric Uncle Sam, he's everywhere. If ever you're in doubt about who or where I am, I'm here, I'm there, I'm everywhere. I am your Uncle Sam.
That's it.
But anyways, I'm gaining followers. I got almost 2,000 in a year. I'm every day I'm on there gaining a few people every day, and all of a sudden, nothing. It goes. I'm losing 1 or 2 every day, and then I'm losing 10 a week, and I'm typing away, and I'm joining and retweeting and liking and trying.
You're engaging essentially, and it's nothing's happening with all the regular engagement,
and it's just getting worse. And who am I? I was nobody. What's 2,000 followers? That's nobody. And there's no explanation but shadow banned. I'm hardcore about my beliefs. I didn't hold back what I thought of previous administrations and where this country was headed. Lots of InfoWars retweets and links to them and places the system doesn't like. And it was almost overnight. I was just cut off.
We have,
but I'm back thanks to Elon. I like Elon.
Oh, yeah.
He's
free speech.
Gains my respect.
Absolutely.
More and more every day.
And hopefully after this too, you might get maybe a couple more anyhow too that are at least on the same wavelength that may get you a couple more back. But we experience some of that shadow banning ourselves, not that same level.
It's just a hashtag that's apparently
but that's
flagged.
still
Yeah.
That's not technically a shadow ban, though, right? Shadow ban is where they don't even tell you.
That's where you're completely in the dark.
That's true.
They cut your account. They basically all your information they won't let people see unless they directly go to your page.
I see. Okay.
Anything you do won't be seen unless they go directly to your page, essentially.
It'd be no different than having a yard sale, and unless someone drives past your house, they're not going to know
about it. They tore
it.
down your signs.
In your garage.
They tore down
They had a knock on your door and come in and look at it.
Oh, man. Well, I guess without further ado, can we elaborate in the J6 a little bit?
The greatest terrorist attack in history, according to some.
And I was part of it, 9/11, it was worse than 9/11. I watched thousands of people die around me. It was a bloodbath. Wait, there was Ashley Babbitt got shot in the neck. That one girl.
Heart attack.
That one girl they said overdosed that got beaten up by cops.
Yeah.
I don't want to bash on cops.
Yep.
There's some bad ones. There's a lot more good ones.
Every industry, there's good and bad people. Yep.
A couple people got pushed off the balcony and died. That's all. 4 people died that day. Protesters. 4 protesters. Couple cops got beat up. That was the extent of it. But we'll do the lead up because that was better. There was a rally in December, or there was a rally at the end of November. I forget the date, maybe around the 30th. A rally in the middle of December, and then January 6th. And the first one was great. I had a ton of fun. It was like being at a concert more than it was a protest or rally. And weed's legal in D.C., and I wasn't smoking at the time, but everybody around me, it was almost like a Grateful Dead concert.
Free love, sort of.
Yeah, without the sex, hard drugs. But everybody was kind. There was lots of weed, a little bit of booze, and everybody was there for a reason, and that was to save America, MAGA, make America great again. And that first rally, I don't know. There were so many people. I've never seen anything like it. So if you've never been to D.C., the streets are wide. between building to building, it's maybe 100 yards wide.
Oh,
What do you
wow.
think?
It's big.
And block after block after block was just packed with people. And this isn't firsthand, but one of the people I know had talked to a cop that had been around since, what was it? The Black
Lives Matter.
No, not before Black Lives Matter. In the 90s.
Rodney King? That was like late 80s, I think.
No, it was just like a pro, the Million Man March.
Oh, okay.
The Million Man March.
I'm thinking way different.
Yeah, I got what, 10, 12 years on you guys.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But the Million Man March.
I'm stepping up here for a second. I have to do it. I think I kicked that cable.
Oh, my God.
Well, maybe not, but I have to look.
Oh,
and
my
also
God.
showcase this while I'm walking up there.
What kind of amateur?
I will say,
sorry.
there's
No, we're good.
nobody who has more of like the power of like it's amazing the crowd that Donald Trump can fucking draw. It's insane.
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
Martin Luther King, maybe, but anybody else in history,
Right. I was
Modern
at
history.
Butler. You were about to
Certainly
read it.
America,
Yep.
there's nobody maybe besides Martin Luther
JFK,
King.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm not
I don't know.
sure.
I don't know. I wasn't around.
Right. But anyways, this cop was around for the Million Man March, and he said there's more people at the Trump rally. The first Trump rally in December.
Well, they only reported there was 50, 60, 70,000.
Right.
There's not that many people there. What are you talking
Well,
about?
I mean, I even heard some outlets saying there was 10,000 people. You fit 10,000 people in a half
This
a city
garage.
block. The square, the center square had 40, 50,000 people. And then it just went on.
From there.
But yeah, so he said there's more people here than the Million Man March. And there probably wasn't a million people at the Million Man March. And there probably wasn't a million people there either. But it was well above 500,000. Easy. Which,
Crazy.
who does
Insane.
that? Insane. And then this...
No, what I was going to say is you made that quick reference to Butler, where he had made a trip into, and I was fortunate enough to be there. Yes, and that alone, I couldn't tell you how many people
I
were
remember
there.
seeing the snaps. It was insane.
And yes,
But you knew somebody that worked there. How many people could that place hold?
it was an airport. So
Yeah.
I mean, we were out on the ramp of the airport, and they had the entire ramp full of bleachers and people, and then people behind and behind. So much so that they outran all the shuttles and everything for people. I ended up having to walk 5 miles because, or I was going to wait. It was like 3 or 4 hours for the shuttle to come back to where my car was. I still ended up doing better off, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was probably the most miserable part of that evening. But I could tell you, man, that it was
Insane.
It was insane the amount that shows up.
So for reference, Butler's what, a town of 15,000 people. The nearest big towns, Cranberry-ish, 30,000. And it was on short notice because a venue canceled, and it was like 3 days notice. And in 3 days, he filled that airport up with at least 30,000, maybe 40, maybe 50.
Oh my! I couldn't even put a number on it because I couldn't even
So big.
see the amount of people, because the way that they set those events up, if anybody's ever been to one, especially something funded with tax dollars,
Well,
right?
yeah.
So the bleachers set up and everything close by with the big lights. I was privy to a bleacher seat, but we'll talk about that off air. But either way, it's lit in that area for cameras, everything else. People are so far past that there's no lights. You can't even. I couldn't see
People.
the sea of people, how far away there were, honestly. And obviously, all the snipers up on the roof of hangars.
Oh,
you know
yeah,
what I mean?
I'm sure.
Hundreds of yards away.
The helicopters coming in,
Oh, yeah.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Circle around.
Yeah. I mean, even to put a guess on it, I mean, it had to, at the very least, been around that, like, I don't know, 40,000 people. This is a guess because I don't.
Well, they
know.
said 50,000, but
Okay.
that was the Trump. Of course, they're going to exaggerate a
Sure.
little, but I don't think they exaggerated much.
I don't think
I
so.
estimated 35, so
Yeah.
we're not off
Yeah.
much.
Man,
Yeah,
it was
35 to
absurd.
45,000 on
There was
2.5
nowhere to shit.
day notice in a rural
Area.
/ suburban area,
Agreed.
30 miles north of Pittsburgh.
Oh,
and,
man.
and Joe Biden, what he well, speaking of that, his
80
last
million votes, Verne. 80 million votes. Come on, man.
What's the girl pop singer from Pittsburgh?
Oh.
Aguilera.
Oh, Christina Aguilera.
Is that who-
Yeah.
Very attractive, very fine.
Well, she's getting
in her
old.
prime. In her prime.
Yeah.
She sang for Biden's. It was the day before the election in Pittsburgh at Heinz Field, whatever it is now. And I went down there to check it out to see. There couldn't have been more than 100 cars. 120 cars, and I bet you 100 of those 120 cars were there to see Christina Aguilera. And you're telling me that guy
pulls that many people in a city with over 1 million, right? Pittsburgh's have over 1 million.
Pittsburgh's
no.
population.
I think it's 300,000 ish.
Oh, I thought they were over 1 million. Wow.
No. Well, the metropolitan area, maybe,
okay.
But the city itself, 300,000.
I'm following.
I think.
Beaver County has got about 110,000.
Yeah.
Butler's nearing 100 now.
Okay.
They're all moving north.
I don't blame them.
Well, but I do respect, though, the fact that you're so strong in your beliefs that you'll go out of your way to go to an event or at least drive by to just get your own information for an opposing party or belief, that just for your own edification. I mean, that's respectable.
Yeah.
Well, I love America, but I've never really had an opportunity to make an impact. Who does? It's hard, you know. You guys got opportunity to make a little podcast. You can make a little bit of an impact. That's something people could do.
We try.
But how much else? You know, in the Patriot Act, the original Patriot Act, in
We talk about it actually
in 1995, right? After 2011, or 2001.
Bush Jr.
Yeah, I went out. I made a couple signs, and I'll say the town, New Brighton, and I went out and protested all by my lonesome in this town of 2,000 people. And at the time, to be a patriot after 9/11, a true patriot when invading countries was not the right answer.
No. Countries that weren't even responsible for what fucking happened.
Yeah.
Stripping Americans of their rights.
Yeah.
And I went out there, and I got a lot of harassment, but I'll tell you, the only support I got, black people.
Really? Interesting.
Really. They would honk, they'd say, right on, brother. And white people, F you.
Yeah. That's a damn shame, too, because most of those people don't know. They don't know what the Patriot Act entails.
Right.
Well, absolutely. Well, it was all, we have to protect America. This is going to protect America.
Right.
No, this is so you can spy on your citizens.
So, and here's the cool thing about it. By calling it the Patriot Act, if you're against it,
I'll rubber stamp that one.
If you're against the Patriot Act, you're not a patriot. Right? Well, I mean, my Lord, come on. I mean, right? It's a proof's in the pudding. That's an easy way to get people on board.
This is the Inflation Reduction Act.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
So it's going to reduce inflation naturally.
It's the opposite. Every time it is the exact opposite of what they say. And I think somewhere in the Bible, not that I'm a big Bible thumper, but they say when black is white and up is down, you will know my time is near.
I mean,
it seems like getting to that time. I don't know.
Might be past due.
The world is kind of in a state right now.
Yeah.
To say the least.
It's something.
We're at a crossroads.
Absolutely.
Ooh. If we want to get back, not to interrupt you guys.
No.
Okay. So that was the first Trump rally. 500, 600, 700,000 people were excited. There wasn't even fights. When can you think of 500,000, 600,000 people together? There was not even fist fights. Not a single fist fight.
I go out to the bar on a weekend and somebody's getting in a fucking fight. There's
Yeah.
30 people at the bar.
No pushing, no
Of course,
shoving.
alcohol is involved, but
Well, yeah,
still,
but-
neither here nor there.
Yeah.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
But
No, I agree, but
it's still, I mean, I had a couple drinks at the Trump rally, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't fight nobody.
So 2 weeks later, approximately sometime in the middle of December, the second Trump rally. That was a little, maybe 100,000 people. And the streets felt empty. You know, compared to what I saw, I was like, wow, this is a bummer. Not many people turned out, but you figure, you know, I had to drive 7 hours in a 10-year-old car.
Sure.
I had to take a day off work.
Yeah, that's
But still, it's 100,000 people.
That's the amazing thing about the draws. People, and all these people are probably blue collar people that work. Like it's not like people don't have a fucking job,
Right.
Like don't have shit to do.
They're either taking
like,
paid time off or vacation to go out of their way.
That's what I'm
to
saying.
do
Like
this.
that's what like that whole Trump era, which I think we're coming back in the pendulum swinging. But that's what to me like that's the antithesis of America. And like
That was awesome, by the way.
but go ahead,
Yeah,
sorry.
no, sorry. Yeah, continue. We're really bad. By
that
the way,
wasn't
at
to interrupt you guys. That was just to make sure.
It was just funny. That's all. We're also bad at going off on
Oh,
tangents. So if you can keep us straight, by all means. But we're not learning anytime
Ken's
soon.
a little
so-
harder than me.
Well, I'm always harder than you.
Well,
Let
naturally.
me out of this corner.
Oh shit. Continue. Sorry.
Second rally.
Second rally. So lots of good speakers, motivational, just not as many people, still peaceful, smell weed the whole freaking time.
Basically.
So this is to tell the liberals, we're no different. We're just like you, but
Absolutely.
But we're not in denial. We're not buying the freaking bull crap. And it's okay. Come on over, man. We'll put an arm around you. We'll light your joint up.
Sure.
If you're gonna do heroin, don't steal.
Right. Good luck. But
Good luck. Yeah, I mean, don't do heroin.
Yeah,
but if
right.
you're gonna,
I won't
who
stop.
am I to
Yeah,
judge?
it's
just don't steal. Support your habit.
Sure. Yeah, no, I agree, but the problem is the what's put on. I guess let me restart it. The division, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want the division. So
Right.
divide and conquer.
I actually have
Absolutely.
many friends. Many, well, in my age, many is not a lot, a couple.
spectrums. All
But yeah,
spectrums.
different political beliefs, liberals. One of my best friends that lives in Florida, you know her, Danielle. Best girlfriends, I should say. But she's extreme liberal. But you know what,
Yeah.
man? Like,
You need that.
I used to go to New York City to see her every single year when she lived over there, and we'd hang out, we'd party, we'd do the things we enjoyed, and we never talked about politics. But we were both very, very segregated in our beliefs in politics.
That's I think after COVID. COVID was really the thing in the 2020 election that like drove people the fuck apart. That was the wedge that like you're either on this side of the fence or you're on
Yeah.
this side of the fence.
Good segue.
But well, I'm just saying now. I think now where everybody's seeing this was complete bullshit.
Sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah, good segue because Verne and I had went to a show. By the way,
So, sorry to interrupt. We'll put a bookmark on the third rally.
fuck's
well, yeah, go ahead.
No, it's okay.
I want to go back to that. No, because
Yeah, yeah.
We'll
That's
put a
where
bookmark
bad
on the
at it.
third
Yeah.
rally, and let's go to
All right.
our concert.
that's fine. We went to the Bad Religion concert. If anybody out there's punk fans, they're kind of getting pretty old now. But I'm going back again on May 10th. You should go with Mike
Oh,
Ness.
yeah, really?
Yep, Social D. So
Wow, yeah.
you should definitely.
Have
go.
you got tickets?
Yep,
already?
I got tickets.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Definitely,
I'll get mine.
definitely go. Anyhow, so we were in Pittsburgh. We bought tickets to Bad Religion show. This was the height of everything.
Yeah.
They had canceled the show because of COVID.
Thank God, or I'd have never went.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But so they ended up giving you, I don't know how they did. It was a Ticketmaster thing, you know what I mean? They ended up
we're
saying,
giving you a credit for another show.
yeah,
or
I can't remember.
partial refund.
I'd have to talk to Derek and see what happened there. But anyways, we ended up the second time they came through, we were good to go.
Yeah.
And we went there, and you had to have your star on there, your Vax card.
Vaccine passport,
Oh,
your papers,
Yep.
please.
Yeah, so I went out and got
You're a
tested.
papier, bitte?
Got my test. You know, took the 10-inch rod up my nose, free and clear. Went there. Verne definitely did that too, right? Yeah, you
No.
got tested.
Our mother gave me a.
Oh, you sure you want to say it?
My aunt on the other side of my family gave me a lot number from her shot, and I copied and downloaded a vaccine card from the computer, put that lot number on it, printed it, done.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
In Minecraft.
Yeah.
I would never do such a thing.
No.
Neither here nor there. Very awesome show. Had a blast that time. Thanks, Jacqueline, that drove us around. Me and Derek, or Derek and I, we had a blast that night. Got blackout
He
drunk.
threw up all over the car, didn't he?
Of course he did.
Yeah.
He throws up
Standard
everywhere. Yeah.
But to the point, so you had to have a vaccine.
Card.
Yeah, you had to be vaccinated or have
Tested.
a vaccine card to get into the concert.
Or
And-
it was proof of a negative test, right? So negative test or a
Or that
vaccine
too. Okay.
passport. Your Juden star, basically.
Okay, and this was a year or so into it. It wasn't right at the beginning.
Yeah.
A year or so into the
Yep.
COVID, and I had been to the Trump rallies to the point I had been around 700,000 people. None of them were vaccinated. Not likely. Very few were probably tested.
Hard to say, but yes, yeah.
Plus, I delivered pizzas. I interacted with thousands of people over the course of a year.
Touch
so.
that dirty money.
We gotta get rid
all
of
that
that
dirty money.
cash. We gotta get rid of
I
it.
never got sick. Never got sick. I jump in the Bad Religion mosh pit for an hour and a half. 3 days later, I got COVID.
Guess what? I got COVID. Guess what? Derek got COVID. And Derek and I actually hung back. If you remember from that show, we hung back from the whole crowd because I'm not like I'm getting pretty feeble in my age. And even though you're older than me, you're moshing your dick off. And I'm like, I'm just going to hang back here and
I'm
get
just gonna
drunk.
wear my 2 masks and
Yeah, right. Yeah, actually, well, they didn't enforce that then. But neither here nor there. I got it. Everyone got it. I mean, I think
Crazy.
they canceled. It was their next show or the next 2 shows or something after them. Bad Religion canceled because everyone fucking got COVID at their shows.
And to me,
It
that
sucked ass, by the way.
that tells me vaccine shedding was
Very-
real. I had heard about it, but I don't know much about it. I'm not a medical doctor,
No.
but I can hear the definition, get the basic concept of it, and I didn't know whether it was real or not. But after that, how can you not believe it's not real?
that would be a big coincidence.
If it was just me, maybe.
Yeah, different story.
And, well, what
One
if you were
person-
patient
yeah.
0? You had COVID and you gave it to all of us, you motherfucker. No, but who actually truly knows?
But we all got it.
yeah. Little suspect.
And none of us had it before. I don't know how much Derek interacts with people in the public, and
Not as much as I
you
do.
don't a whole lot either.
Well, no,
but I did because of my job,
Of
and
course.
because of the Trump rallies. I was around near 750,000 people in the COVID thing, and I didn't get sick.
Let me strengthen your argument because I work. My wife and I have. If there's ever another pandemic that's lethal, like we're out, because she is an event coordinator. So she is around groups of people and weddings constantly, right? I work in transportation, aviation to be exact. I'm getting people that's coming in from other states, other countries
Constantly.
all the time, every single day.
In contact with many of them.
So probably another reason why I probably already had it multiple times. Who knows? I mean, because it's a little up for debate what are symptoms or not symptoms.
Can you actually test for it? Can you not?
Right. But neither here nor there. To strengthen your argument, I was fine before that fucking concert, and I've been around people from out of this country, from other states. She's been hugging brides and serving cake and cookies to people.
Pressing those tits together.
Well, yeah, of
Naturally.
course, yeah. That's why I married her. But yeah,
Husband.
Well, I was going to say other tits, but yeah.
oh yeah,
For sure.
She's pressing other people's tits.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta primp the bride before she walks out there.
I'll ask her. I'll confirm that.
I guarantee you. Well, that's more of a head bridesmaid thing, but I would do it. If I'm the coordinator, I'm gonna act gay, obviously.
Yeah, we don't have to act.
Well,
You don't have to act.
I don't want her to feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean?
You won't hide that you're gay.
Yeah. I'll make it very apparent.
Anyways, continue now. Were we on the same topic, or do we want to go back to the third round?
Well, let's finish it.
Okay.
So we all got COVID.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I had about 2 days into it. My temperature was nearly 103. I had ordered Saeed Hyder, one of the few doctors in the country that was offering ivermectin at the time.
Very dangerous. Very dangerous. That's horse
Horse
dewormer.
strength.
Oh my
I got
God.
horses.
Something that's
I had horses.
Somebody won the Nobel Prize for
For
use
medicine,
in,
for
in
medicine.
humans. It's conspiracy theory. You can't use that. Oh my God.
Well, I had ordered it like a few hours after I got sick, and it took about 2 days to get there. I doubled my dose. 12 hours later, I took a normal dose. 12 hours after that, I started feeling better. The day after that, I was back to normal after taking ivermectin, and it's amazing. And quick plug, even without it, Saeed Hyder, he offers antibiotic deals, and I bought it. It's more of a prepper thing.
I was going to say
if it's okay.
No, go ahead. Well, that's super important from the standpoint of people to understand. When people die in wars or like any time, like in times of peril, it's fucking, you're sick, you're infected. It's not, you're not going to get blasted. You're going to be sick. Like that's what kills people. And we'll talk after the show, but definitely we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
Well, then on the quick point is, right, a few months, about a year ago, but he's still offering it, like a $200 deal on antibiotics. I forget the name of it, but it's the antibiotics that'll knock out anthrax. Those are expensive. He only gives you like 6 of them, but he gives you ivermectin, hydrochloroquine, amoxicillin, some basic antibiotics, like $200 total, and it's well worth it. I bought a couple packages because if you're a prepper and you don't have antibiotics, you're making a big mistake.
Sure. Can I ask you this, though, and not even being a devil's advocate, but for my own safety of my body, if I buy from this doctor, are there third-party lab testing? Is there anything on these meds that prove they're
the pills? I checked the numbers.
okay. So it came from a pharmacological.
It comes from a pharmacy.
Okay.
You pay.
It's not a supplement.
You pay him like $100 or something, and then the rest of the money goes to the pharmacy. You still got to pay for the pills.
So he's giving you a prescription
for a bunch of antibiotics.
So it's legitimate.
It's a Texas pharmacy. The laws allow him to do that.
Okay, all right.
And he's the one that you got the ivermectin from me.
Worked, yeah.
And that's who
it shortened my penis for some reason. I mean, I don't know if that was a side
it
effect.
Made mine longer. Wow.
What the fuck?
He gave you the wrong pill.
God damn it. Yeah.
Well, so speaking of ivermectin, just same subject, but the thing that really did it for me was like when the media like went after Joe Rogan so fucking hard.
Yep.
I was like,
it's all horse pills.
It's all fake, dude. It's all fake. It's like this is they're going after this guy, like, and it's all bullshit. Like, what the I think that woke a lot of people up.
Yeah, because a lot of liberals trust Joe Rogan. Yeah. And they should. He's
very
pretty
unbiased.
Honest guy.
Yeah. I will have to say that, yeah. We don't need to plug Joe Rogan because he does just
Joe,
fine.
Yins boys.
Yeah. We'll have him on. You know.
Yeah, right. But in all seriousness, he is a legitimate source for people that are interviewing with him.
They're credible.
Yeah.
They're experts in their field, or they're knowledgeable in their field.
Right.
Like, and that's why I like listen to his podcast. He's got a lot of interesting people.
Of course. Yeah, and you can cherry pick, which is nice. He gets so many credible guests that you can just go through. Because he's got so many fucking episodes. You can't possibly listen to all. I mean, you could, I guess, but you can't. Cherry pick the doctors you want to hear, or just go to Protect Our Parks. Like, that's the fun one, you know. Where they just do what we do.
The ones where he talks about what is it, DMT?
The
South America.
Dimethyl.
The clockwork elves. That's the one drug I never did, and I'm past that phase in my life. But I would still like to see that, just to see.
Sure.
But I believe in God. I'm not a strong Christian, but I believe in God. But I'd like to see the 200-foot praying mantis, see if I could take it on. Well, I mean, it might be hell. I've been through some bad trips in my day, so I think I can take any DMT bad trip they throw at me.
That drug is supposed to get you to break through.
Blow your socks off.
It's supposed to get you to break through to have that communication. I mean, at least the people that I've talked to or researched about, whatever, that breaks that barrier between either dimensional or real. I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm interested in it, because it was the '90s. That was the new version of the '60s. I probably tripped 100 times on acid, and that was the old acid
Based.
before it was clean. If you can call it clean, like strychnine made in a garage.
Not research chemicals made.
Yeah, right, yeah.
But besides that, I tripped my balls off. But we all had individual trips. We all found our own path, and that's why I'm interested in the other thing, because everybody supposedly sees the same thing or near the same thing.
So even by yourself,
that is
that
kind
interests
of
me.
Interesting that everybody sees the same, roundabout the same thing.
Right,
You know,
right. It makes
or
you,
describes
makes you wonder
the same.
if there really is another dimension.
Oh, I think there is.
All right, we're on a huge
way different topic.
Yeah,
Way
yeah.
Huge. That's part 2.
Yeah,
somebody
right.
write a note.
Oh my.
Let's go back. Let's go back.
Yeah.
So the third
Rally.
close to the same size as the first.
Mm-hmm.
January
Big.
5th. I'm there down at the square. I wish I could remember the name, but
Probably Regent Square, Times Square,
DC Square, Liberty Square,
Ginsburg's
Washington
Pittsburgh, right?
Square.
Yeah.
Whatever it was, it's where all the rallies were held on
Yeah.
January 5th. And it was, a couple 100,000 people there. No rowdiness again, no fights. And they talk about January 5th as the precursor
The lead
to
up.
6. Right. Everybody's no, it was just, we got to get behind Trump. We got to remember, everybody's got to stay peaceful.
Well, this is the other thing is at this time, this is when, we got to stop the count. We got to stop the count. We're still trying to certify. We don't know what's going on. It's not like we haven't counted all the votes in previous years in a couple days. This is out of the ordinary.
This is, total
say the
BS. And we got one chance legally
To protest it or to
protest
contest
right.
it.
To contest it, yeah.
Mike Pence.
The electors, you can choose alternative electors if the vice president, I don't know all the details.
I don't know if he's got to certify.
He's got to certify it. And then the states can choose alternative electors who can pick
who
a
they
different president if they so choose. And that's what it's all about. And that had, 2016, Hillary Clinton tried to do that. In 2000, Al Gore tried to do that. They act like that was the first time it ever happened. Oh my God. Every Democrat that's lost an election in the last 30 years has contested it.
It's standard procedure. If I was running a race, I would like to certify the fucking vote.
To make sure, right. It's not a big deal.
That's standard procedure. Like, why would, the other thing is, to lead up to this, everything that happened beforehand on the night of the election, the pipe burst here. We can't, nobody can see this, in Philadelphia. No, you can't see this. Stop. No. It's
absurd. It's never
happened.
Never.
In the United States, at least to our knowledge,
I mean, I think all elections have been selected.
Yes, absolutely.
But there's they have a mechanism between the machines, which I don't think is much, maybe a few percentage.
It's an algorithm.
And other things that they always sway the election 12 to 16% towards the Democrats. And they win by a few points, unless they want the Republican to win.
Yeah.
And then they don't use that mechanism as much. We don't pick the president. We haven't picked the president in a long time. Maybe Reagan. I don't know about Reagan because they didn't like him. I mean, they tried to kill him.
Yeah.
But once they shot him, I hear he
changed his tune.
Yeah, he either changed his tune or he lost it. And George W. Bush Sr. took control of the country at that point.
I think if voting really made a difference, they wouldn't let you do it.
which is what's happening now.
Yeah.
Voting made a difference in 2016, and look how things changed. And they didn't let Trump win that election.
I think they underestimated the amount that they had to cheat.
His
quote
12,
quote unquote.
Exactly.
I think they fucked up. Is
the 12 to 16% mechanism that's in place to flip votes wasn't enough to stop Donald Trump.
Whoops.
We'll do better next time.
And now, and it worked in 2020 because they had COVID.
Mail-in ballots.
It wasn't enough. The 12 to 16% wasn't enough. They fell short by like 7 million votes.
Yeah.
But then they just said, hold on.
Time out.
got
We're still
this.
counting.
All
We're
right,
still
come on.
counting. Hold
7,
on.
6,
We're still
7.
counting.
Oh, look. Biden wins by exactly the same amount Trump won in 2016.
Let's not look at any of the bellwether counties, anything like that. Let's
19 out of 18 out of 19.
Let's not look at any
bellwether
of
counties.
the actual statistics here. Like it's proven mathematical fraud, but no, we can't look at that.
The best images,
that,
the two best images I seen is there's Donald Trump shooting a basket. It's nice and round. And Joe Biden, nice and round, goes straight up, over, and in.
We're gonna roll that in.
We'll roll it in.
And then the pissing one, Donald Trump and Joe Biden are pissing.
Put that into. That's good stuff.
But anyway, so there was, I don't know, same amount of people, maybe a little less.
A little less, maybe 500,000 for the third rally. Big speakers, everybody's there up front. I don't know what else to say. It was a community, a harmony that I had never seen. They talk about violence. There was no violence. Give me a break. Now I listened to Trump's whole speech. And if you watch videos, you might see.
Look at his fucking tweets. Like you can look at the time, like the timestamp of all his fucking tweets.
Well, they cut it out. They say peacefully and patriotically march to the Capitol.
Yeah.
And that's when I left. There was a giant flag, like 40 by 80. I helped carry that flag. And when I got to the Capitol, there must have been 200,000 people there. There was a 1/4-mile wall of people before I even got there. So I can't attest. I guess that's when most of the people pushing back the barriers.
Well, no, I saw some videos of the Capitol Police sort of
Letting them in.
Let them in.
Well, there's that too.
Ray Epps.
And I also, I can tell you something here I got probably nobody else in the country has. This is probably an exclusive. Now, I walked around with Mike Adams. I had a big megaphone, and I had a speaker playing my phone. I had a Mike Adams episode. I thought about it a lot. I picked something out that I thought would really short to the point, 3-4 minutes. I played it over and over again for like 2 hours on my megaphone. But it drew attention. But anyways, I got people that came to me that said, hey, we're the Minnesota militia. We're going into the Capitol.
Whoa.
You with us?
Really?
And I said, yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Whatever.
In the moment, yeah.
I didn't know if I was with them or not, but
Sure,
it sounded good.
Yeah.
And
The Minnesota
but
militia.
they were dressed. If I've ever seen a Fed, military gear, everything but the M14, ready to go into the Capitol building. You with us? Yeah, we'll meet here, right here. Let's go. So I don't know, but everybody I saw that went into the Capitol weren't. Everybody else was dressed
regular fucking
like
people.
Trump supporters. And these guys were dressed like a military operation. So
I just don't. I don't believe this wasn't pre-planned, or I think they shuttled people in. They had agitators in the crowd.
Oh yeah, I
I'm
saw
not
people
saying-
changing clothes.
I don't. Well,
I saw that.
That's.
I saw people in Trump hat, Trump shirt, throw their Trump hat off,
Really?
throw their Trump shirt off behind the trees near the. What is there? The East End and the West End.
Yeah.
The East End was where the main agitation was. I ended up on the West End. But they threw off their Trump hat. They threw off their Trump shirt. Three of them, I think. And
Suspect.
went right up the wall.
I think I think there were people that got caught up in it.
Yeah,
Organic.
I mean, I was caught up
Yeah.
in it. If I would have been there an hour and a half earlier, I probably
Who
would have
knows?
went into the Capitol.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get into the Capitol because there was 200,000 people between me and the Capitol doors. I got to the steps.
It's crazy. It's
Did you see Tatanka Man?
And no.
well, you saw the Capitol Police sort of escorting people around
Yeah,
on
right.
the videos that they didn't want to release that were released, and like where Ray Epps is on film inciting people to go to the Capitol. We got to get in there. We got to get in there, and he didn't get arrested or charged with anything until just now. He's been living a
And
real
then he got
cushy
a little
life.
slap on the wrist.
And then it's insane. And then it's crazy. The what people got, like the punishments. I'm not saying people didn't deserve to go to jail or get punished for what some people
6
did.
months,
Yeah,
a
some
year,
people did,
maybe.
but it's insane.
Someone locally here too. I'm going to say the area, but just right up the road from here. We can talk about it off air.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is there was also recently a pro-Palestine protest that stormed the fucking Capitol. That nobody was charged with anything.
Disrupted
there.
Congress.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Like insane.
You guys know who Joe Biggs is?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, a war vet, multiple tours.
Yeah.
Shook a fence. America, I love America. He's got 20
Well, I was gonna
years
say,
in a
it's-
federal prison.
I thought it was a little less than that, but that's
Okay,
fucking,
I might be off 10 years.
Still, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Insane.
If anything, 30 days in jail, big fine.
Max.
Go home. Yeah.
Max.
Yeah.
Like productive American citizens.
I can only imagine. I've been to a couple county jails. I can only imagine what
Federal
DC
pen, dude.
Well, the federal pen is probably way better than the District of Columbia County Jail. Way too many freaking. They jam as many. State prisons and federal prisons. They have resources.
Yeah, yeah.
County jails, you don't get no human contact. They just jam as many people as they can.
It's
in there.
kind of
you got
holding.
30 people in a room like this.
Yeah, that's not
getting
gonna
the equivalent of MREs.
not gonna work for me.
Days on end. Days on end.
Got to get out. Got to bust out.
For nothing.
It's it amazes me that people don't see just it's absurd. It's like I'm not saying that people didn't do wrong that day. Some people did, but the vast majority of the people, they literally were ushered into the Capitol and just walked around.
And I think the people that did wrong got caught up in it.
Yeah,
And all they did was maybe push a barrier or push a cop.
Well, I'm not even like it's
and that's like the worst thing they did. And okay, maybe you want to call that assault.
Even call it that. That's not 10 years in jail,
Right.
You know, that's a fucking slap on the wrist for your first offense. Like you're in and out on probation for 6 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
My whole point as the eyewitness as what I can say as to the whole Trump rallies, the closest thing I can associate it to was being at a Grateful Dead concert.
Huh.
It was love and peace. People were hugging each other. They loved America. There was kindness. People were picking up their own trash. Somebody fell down. They helped them up. It smelled like a freaking pot forest. People loved each other. They loved America. There was no violence.
There was unity.
There was unity. And the other point I wanted to make about January 6th, if Trump was orchestrating an insurrection,
It would have gotten done.
he could have went to the Capitol and said, hey, around back, there's a few tractor trailers. We're passing out M14s. We got tactical vests. We got rations. Load up. We're not letting anybody in the Capitol.
That's the other thing. If people wanted to fucking
That's an
take the
insurrection.
Capitol, an armed insurrection, if people wanted to, it would have fucking been done.
Or even on a more realistic level, which is where I was at. When I heard people talking about going to the Capitol, I didn't think it was a bad idea because Well, leftists do sit-ins. There's nothing wrong with a sit-in. This is the people's house.
The whole civil rights movement was basically backed on sit-ins. Like,
yeah, I brought like a week's worth of medication. I brought a week's worth of rations. I had 6-7 water bottles, and the only thing I was thinking was, we're going to sit around the Capitol building. We're going to hold fucking hands
and just wait,
and we're not leaving till we get our vote of slated electors.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's all absurd. It's all bullshit. Well, not to segue into a different topic, but we've talked about this before, but federal air marshals now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, they're not following legitimate terrorists, anything like that. Right now, they're all on detail of protesters from January 6th.
Oh yeah, right.
Insane.
Waste of resources.
Insane.
Yep. Yeah, it's unreal.
Now, I heard your guest a few weeks ago, and it was kind of rude, but I got to do the same thing he did.
Oh, you got to.
Or
what's
there's
that?
going to be a wet spot.
Oh, that's okay. No. We'll go. We'll talk. We'll keep going.
Yeah. Go ahead. I give you permission to speak without me.
Don't ruin the nice calf skin rug we got.
Yeah, right. Whatever you do, can you step over that cable?
The cable.
Yeah, that one. We'll see you in a minute.
Yeah, it's everything's suspect.
Absolutely.
Nothing makes sense. Nothing tracks.
Yeah.
It just smells.
Yeah, of course.
Stinks.
I guess then at that point, that was honestly,
amazing.
I was kind of just sitting there like enthralled in the story.
Ken's chubbed up right now.
Yeah,
I was trying to say.
Pretty cool. I wasn't there. I was
wasn't there. Wish I was.
Yeah, right. There's a couple other topics I'd love to get into. One, I'm going to wait for Verne to come back because I want to get his opinion on everything. It had, in regard to the Chabad boys.
Oh yeah.
We'll wait for that.
Yeah, I will talk about the tunnels.
We talked about a week or two ago something. Flight training. I finally went back, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, I did it by accident because one of the airplanes I fixed, I had to go do a flight test, and I was like, well, can I log this time? And they were like, yeah, I don't care. So got me some little flight time the other day. Got to see the house in the air, buzz, the neighbor's house.
Nice, man.
It's fun. Yeah, it's a good time.
Well, I know that's always been your
just
passion, so to speak.
Kind of. It's just that there's no money to fund it. So I went the direction that was able to, fund the things I have now. But either way, it's more to come. I mean, I'm sure there'll be more stories about that in the future here. But
I hope you take us up.
Yeah, it was badass, man. It was fun. I forgot a lot of shit. It's been a long time since I've flown, and I have 80 hours under my belt. But still
that was a couple of years ago.
Big gap, yeah. So I did okay, but I definitely had to. I forgot a couple things.
Revert to your training.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ask for assistance.
Of course. Well, and I didn't go alone. That's for sure. We were waiting for you to come back because there was a topic we wanted to get your opinion on. Since we moved on past the J6 stuff, but by the way, we were discussing, it was amazing. I'm glad we have that. Excuse me, on our archives and everything.
I think that's an original perspective of all the people that's been to January 6th. I haven't heard anybody talk about that, and it was peace and love and unity.
The exact opposite of the media narrative.
Right.
Exact opposite.
So
just like everything else.
Well,
current time stuff is what I was while you were gone leading on to. We're talking about the Chabad boys. The tunnels in New York City.
Yeah, we gotta talk about it. I mean, it's a funny story.
Were they Yiddish? What kind of Jewish people?
I think
were they?
they're traditional Hasidic Jews.
Hasidic,
right? Because I think Yiddish.
I don't know much about it, but I know it's a big difference.
Yiddish is the language. It's like a German dialect, essentially.
Okay.
But what's going on in these tunnels, guys?
Well, why is there tunnels, right? So from what I heard, it's to make passageway, and they started these tunnels back during COVID, right?
That's
circle
not true,
back
because that's been debunked now.
Oh wow! I didn't hear that.
There's a lot of tunnels.
The building was inspected like earlier in June this year, and there's no tunnels there.
Oh wow! Huh. I thought it would have taken them a long time to.
Well, that's the thing. Number one, who dug them? When did it start? Where do they go?
And why?
How extensive is it?
But why?
And
most importantly,
I think maybe people. I think there's very possible people are blowing this out of proportion. But it's just.
yeah, but
it's just so. So weird.
What the?
I think
weird.
it is. I just think it was done by a handful of guys that didn't have a whole lot to do. That maybe overly cautious. You know, a lot of people hate Jewish people. Maybe we got a place to go. We can hang out here. And then they got caught up in it. I mean, what do you think? You start building a tunnel under this garage and it goes well, and all of a sudden you can pop up in your nearby town.
Well, maybe they're like, oops, we weren't supposed to be over here. Oops. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they got caught up.
That's my opinion. I mean, maybe there's more to it.
I honestly think it's not any. I don't think it's anything nefarious. As
No,
people
but-
need to be. But
in their defense, you don't own under the ground, right?
no, you can't. It's a structural thing. You can't dig under fucking.
And if you were going to do it, make it a 2 foot wide, 4 foot high, so you're not collapsing the ground.
That's the other thing is like nobody knows the. I don't think it's been released to the public. What's the extent? What's the?
Well, I mean, I heard there was doorways, extensive, wide tunnels.
I've seen videos, but
Okay,
I
haven't seen the videos.
I don't know
yet.
if it's true or if it's not. Who the fuck knows?
What's up with that stained mattress? That's what I want to know.
Whoa.
I got a stained mattress. Come on.
Yeah, but why is it in a tunnel?
You shit your pants more. Somebody probably shit the bed, was too embarrassed. Was like, I'm just going to throw this in the tunnel. I don't want the rabbi to know that I shit the bed again.
Had sex with the rabbi's daughter.
Whoa. Maybe. You know.
Maybe an Abby Shapiro type.
Oh, well, then, I mean, now you're. I see that. I'm all about the tunnels now. I'm pro tunnel. I'm pro tunnel
I've
now.
always been pro tunnel. You want to always a tunnel, man?
Let's go.
You don't got that many neighbors.
Yeah,
You'll be
let's
fine.
go. Just stay away from like the shit tank over there.
Yeah, I was just saying the septic tank.
Did you hear about the people that had called in and were talking about it online?
That guy.
I hear Jewish people talking under my house.
Oh, yeah.
Shut up, you nutbag.
Yeah,
you are
right.
nuts.
I hear him.
Finally justified.
He was like, "You guys owe me an apology. They're fucking under my apartment, dude."
He's not wrong.
They were.
I got
Speaking
Jewish
Yiddish.
people under my house, too.
Speaking Yiddish under my apartment.
I mean, could they drop a bagel every once in a while on my
Something.
floor or something?
Oy vey.
Some gefilte fish, maybe. At least if you're gonna dig under my fucking house,
Right.
have the decency. There's a tax.
Pray for me.
Well,
Yeah, something.
You know,
Give me one of those cool hats too while you're at it.
you don't really got the head for it.
Jewish
Yeah.
people got cool hats.
Yeah.
Yarmulke, the yarmulke.
No. Well, they have that
I
small
know what
one.
a yarmulke is, but
They got one of
you
them.
said
They
had
got like
cool
them
hats.
top hats.
Oh, the
Sort of-
Hasidics.
okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
I think that's
I'll
only
take
for
that.
rabbis. I think.
Well, I'm sure there's a rabbi sniffing around them tunnels. Like, I'm sure he had the hat on.
I don't know. I don't know.
The
Well, he'd
video?
probably get knocked off. I mean, it's if he's got to crouch down in the tunnel.
Do you see the video of them all crawling out?
Oh yeah.
Well,
That's the other thing
videos,
is like it's okay. So I saw the video of like the police being there and arresting people. It's like why were there people in the tunnels?
Like during it.
time.
Yeah.
I don't like what was.
And there had to have been 6 of them, right? That came out like during.
I think there was 8 or 10 of them that were arrested.
Were they young?
Some of them were, but I couldn't really tell on the video. I mean, it's hard to say. You know.
See, I'm backing that more up with just
I could-
maybe overcautious boredom.
Yeah,
You
boys
start
will be
digging
boys.
A tunnel, yeah.
Allegedly-
I could dig it. I could dig it.
I can take it.
I think people are leaning more into it. I don't think it was anything nefarious. I think it was.
Right, they got little
No.
kids under there.
Yeah, that's like okay.
I doubt it.
It's just funny that it's such a big ordeal. Really,
yeah.
is
Well,
what
it-
it
well,
comes
it's
down
Like
to.
Hunter Biden.
Yeah.
Well, that's
That's a big deal.
well. He just walked out of a congressional hearing apparently.
But compared to the world,
mean-
just arrest the guy for
Gun charges, drug charges, money laundering, everything, everything,
whatever you want,
everything.
and forget about it.
That's what I'm saying. It's well, I think they're holding that above Joe Biden's head, as far like they want to push him out.
That's like
Of
the
the running.
least they got on him.
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, we already said it on previous podcasts, but if Hunter ever wants to come party with us, I'm
he's-
sure
he's got a
parties
spot.
hard.
He's got a spot here.
Get him over here.
Yep.
I mean, he's paying, but
Of course,
Yeah.
well, the taxpayers paying, or China,
That's okay.
or
You
Ukraine.
still smoking crack?
I'll do whatever he's got.
Okay.
Well, I knows how to party.
See, I think he's on meth. They always say it's crack, crack, crack. But you ever
It
seen his pipe?
it looks like a
like I
meth
said,
pipe.
I had a nefarious past, right? And even the little black round, it looks like he's smoking crack. I mean, maybe or meth. Maybe there's some crack in there, but I think he's a meth head.
Yeah.
A lot of the liberals are meth heads.
If I had to
You
pick
can tell.
one or the other, it's probably going to be crack.
I'm more.
No.
I'm meth. If I had to pick between the
Meth's
two,
fun.
So
As long as you don't get into it, it's all
Like
right,
anything.
You know?
it's an
But
amphetamine.
crack, you smoke crack, the whole crack buzz is, I want more, I want more. Meth, you can take a couple hits
I don't want any more. I don't want any more.
and go build a studio for
dig a
12
tunnel.
hours.
Yeah, but you're
dig
digging
a
a tunnel.
Maybe that might be the most logical explanation.
I bet Hunter Biden was down there digging away.
Hunter Biden.
That's what it. Well, he solved the case.
Is it
Yeah,
because
I agree. What are we going to do now? Let's build a tunnel. Okay.
But isn't it because of like maybe the paranoia, right? Like that's maybe why
We gotta
tunnel,
go underground.
because
We gotta
like,
go
the
underground.
meth. You're afraid, aren't you? You're paranoid, looking out your blinds. I don't see that. as
That's
fun.
more lack of sleep. But yeah, once you're
Okay.
up for a couple days, the drug don't really do a whole lot to you. It's like drinking 8 cups of coffee at once. But once you're up for 2 or 3 days,
Then the
you
health
start
effects
losing
really-
your mind.
Well, it's true. Lack of sleep. I mean, if you don't sleep for a day or two, like you start seeing shit, like you start hearing things. It's natural for your body and your brain. Like you need sleep.
I didn't want to go here, but since we're here, I had a couple year period where I slipped into the meth habit, and I always stayed away from hard drugs.
Very white of you, though.
But I got my teeth fixed a year ago. On a side, and I'll get right back to it. When I smoked meth, I always covered my front teeth while I smoked. All my back teeth are gone. But because I covered my front teeth with my lips, they were able to fix them and save them.
Interesting.
How does it kill it that fast? Well, different topic, I guess, but
But anyways, I got caught up because, you know, I had a job. I had work. I had to pay rent. And once I was up for a month, if I quit smoking or snorting,
Probably feel like shit.
I'm gonna feel like shit. I gotta sleep for a week, and I can't go to work, and I can't pay rent. So I gotta keep doing it. So, you know, not to judge people so harshly. Not saying you guys do, but we get caught up in that.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
I wanted to quit after like a month. I wanted to quit, but if I quit, I'd lose my job.
you need that energy to get back into it. No, I mean, I wouldn't say that we judge
By
that
the-
hard. It's more of the comedy aspect of it, you know,
Right.
relatable.
I mean, by the end, literally, I did it for like 2 years, and for the last year, I mean, I pretty much did it every day. If I got a 3 or 4 day weekend from work, I didn't do it for a couple of days, so I could sleep. But mostly, I pretty much slept about hour and a half a night for like a year.
Holy shit!
Crazy.
And I struggled to maintain reality, and I have a strong
course.
hold on reality. I'm smart enough,
Grounded.
but grounded. But I struggled to hang on to reality
Whew.
towards the end.
It's lack of sleep. It's
Yeah,
It's-
you lose your mind.
crazy what it does.
But partially, what got me into it too, it was Molly. I don't know if it was Molly or X, but it had
Probably.
E in
Yeah.
with the meth, and me and my girl, we had the best friggin' sex for like a year and a half.
I'm sure.
and that's what got me caught up into it. It was freaking awesome. Like I didn't care. You know, I go on this fantasy ring and we'd fool around for like 12 hours.
Well,
That's about 11 hours and 59 seconds longer than I go. That's crazy.
It
Yeah.
tracks with Hunter Biden because he's seen with a lot of
Right.
escorts and questionably
He's doing
underage women. You know, I mean,
I bet my bankroll on that he's doing meth, not crack. I don't know why they call it crack, but I think he's on
well,
meth.
I think that's part of the media, like
Maybe just
maybe just
unknowing.
unknowing.
Crack's more socially acceptable
or
than
it's-
meth, maybe?
Maybe I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, it's a connotation with both. Let's be honest. If you think meth, what do you think?
Crack cocaine generally, you think African American, like
you do like inner city, right?
80s.
And enforced on them, right?
Well, don't talk about that. I mean,
they did. They put a liquor store in every corner and have the feds come in and give them crack. Guess what? You just basically made a subservient.
Welcome to the 80s.
Yep, there you have it.
That was no accident.
Yeah, of course.
Let's destroy the nuclear family in the black community
Yep.
and have black women marry the state.
And meth is, well, let's get those rural people too.
Yeah.
Like literally.
Well, it's the same thing with the opioid epidemic.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it is. It's all targeted. It's all
the war on drugs, everybody. The war on drugs
was a losing war.
It still is.
You can't win it.
No.
And now, because they're cracking down on fentanyl, they're cracking down on opioids. When I got my teeth fixed, I had 13 teeth ripped out of my skull. Another 8, 9 fixed in one session. And they gave me Tylenol. They would not even give me Tylenol 3 or codeine or Vicodin because of the fentanyl epidemic.
Well, yeah, you're high risk.
They got it so twisted because of the fentanyl. They won't prescribe a painkiller when people need it.
Good luck. There is no Vicodin. There's no OxyContin. Like that is, you have to be a deathbed basically to even have that considered.
And it's absurd.
Yeah.
They didn't know my past. There's no reason 13 teeth ripped out of somebody's head you don't get 20 Vicodin for. It hurts so bad. My God.
At least one apiece.
Yeah. Oh man.
I think that's just.
I'm actually okay with it because all the Vicodin in my life that I've had makes me shit. Well, it doesn't shit, I should say. The biggest logs that I can't pass.
Bristol ones.
I'd rather. They're negatives. They don't come out. It's terrible. I'd rather just go drink beer, smoke weed before I'd ever touch anything. Just because I don't know what it does to my body. Don't want it, man. The opioids type stuff, it block you up. I mean, cinder blocks come out your ass.
My dad had stage 4 lymphoma. He beat it. And he got it again. And he got Roxycontin, which is Percocet without the aspirin. 10 milligram. That was it. 2 a day. And they kept trying to take it from him. And that was it. My dad was like the most anti-drug person you'd ever meet. He hated drugs because he saw how it almost ruined my life. But he was in pain. He's got stage 3 and 4 cancer. And because of this fentanyl absurdity, because drugs are coming across the border, good Americans that are in legitimate pain can't get prescriptions that they deserve. And it's ass backwards, just like everything.
You just need an MNRA, or what do they call those? That'll fix it.
Vaccine.
Yeah, that'll help with the pain.
The mRNA. It'll kill you. Yeah.
I think this is why, like, medical marijuana and marijuana being a Schedule 1 drug, which now I think the Biden administration is working to knock it down, or they did.
I'm actually very okay with that.
Absolutely. It has medicinal qualities. It's something that it's not necessarily it's
in a different way.
Yeah, it's to improve your quality of life. Like it's I don't know. There's something to be said about that.
Stoned ape theory, if you want to go that route with it.
Well, that's a whole different story.
Well, it doesn't kill the pain, but it lets you forget about it.
Yeah, it numbs you enough to kind of
deal with it, live with it.
Yeah.
See, I think I think it's great that they have medical marijuana and, well, it's still Schedule 1, but I don't think they did it right. I think it should just be legal. So you can grow your own. But then the government's out of it, and they don't want that.
Well, we need your tax dollars.
Yeah, of course.
Which that's what doesn't. It blows my mind that they didn't say, "Oh my God, look how much fucking money!" Like with the federal deficit and $34 billion or trillion dollars, whatever we're in now. Like
you would think that they would tunnel their way to your taxes. Like why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they allow this?
They already have. They already have. It's not even. Well, the other thing. It's not even your tax dollars. It's the currency itself.
Oh.
It's how they do it. It's inflation. It's picking away, just chipping away.
Just
at
using
the
that
value.
pickaxe, tunneling all the way.
Well, that's what it is. It's every dollar they create. It devalues every dollar in existence. This is why you shouldn't save your money in USD or a currency like that. You need
Well, you just need multiple baskets. Get a little bit of
You need
precious metals,
diversified.
a little bit of maybe some crypto, a little bit of hard
Stocks.
like cash.
You need
stocks. Like,
companies.
do a little bit of all of it, man. At the end of the day, one works and the other ones don't. BFD.
Well, you know why precious metals don't go up in price?
Well, they're suppressed.
And it sucks, right? Because of
Absolutely.
paper silver and
Absolutely.
paper gold.
Derivatives.
If they got rid of those, silver would be $40, $50 an ounce,
I bet
and gold.
it would be more than that. I bet.
Yeah, right. It sucks because
Well-
I used COVID because I had a job off the books at the time,
Tasty dip there during COVID.
Ooh.
Tasty dip.
and yeah, the $600 a week plus my $600 a week friend's job, and hey, it was only like 3-4 months, but I did really good, and I took all my extra money and I bought silver, and it was a good price at the time, like 24 bucks an ounce.
I remember, yeah.
But it never went up. It went up to maybe 28.
It's
back
up
down
now.
to 20.
It's higher than that now.
It's like $24 and some change now.
Yeah, it don't vary because of the paper. They control the value.
They suppress the price. It's
Well,
standard.
here's the thing, though, too. Eventually, and obviously not to interrupt, but yes, as far as a manipulated value is what we're talking about.
They're keeping the door open for you to buy.
Sure, but if you get it and you collect as much physical gold or physical silver, it still is a used commodity in regard to like
everything.
electronics or
The aerospace industry.
So-
It's the most reflective metal, the most
there's only
conductive metal.
there's only
There's
so
a
much
lot
of
of
it. So
uses,
so
yeah.
even if you're gonna collect it and stack it, it still will have a use regardless. At some point, maybe not in our lives, maybe
even not trade. It has
intrinsic value. It's
Yes.
not a piece of fucking paper.
yeah. So that can still they might get to the point where you say, "Oh shoot, we didn't we didn't find a mine. Like we need to make more iPhones. Like I need more fucking silver."
Eventually, what will happen is there's going to be a discrepancy between the supply and the demand, and that's the point where oh shit, we don't have enough physical metal.
We need more
Well, you can't. That's the thing is
mandatory buyback.
a mine. Well, that's what they did in the 30s. That's what we got to turn. You got to turn in your gold. You can't own it. But even though I think it was like 90% of people didn't comply.
Of course, yeah.
But that was a high trust society back in the 30s. People said, "Oh, we trust the government." Like,
and 10% gave back.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
right,
That's why. I mean, I have pre-33 gold, and it's like somebody kept that shit and said,
they were like, "Fuck you."
"Yeah, I'm not
Fuck
about
you.
that."
Yeah.
That's.
So all the gold in the world will fit in an Olympic swimming pool.
It's like
That's
a cube.
amazing.
It's like there's not that
In the world,
There's not that
that's
much.
amazing.
Of it, you know.
Unless you find a mine, like that's the thing. Unless if we have science now to find all of it.
But
Hold on.
still,
Let me explain to you because I extensively study mining stocks, the mining industry.
Sure.
Every easily available.
The tunneling industry, is that what you said?
Yes, essentially.
Maybe they were tunneling for gold.
Well, essentially every the cheapest available pockets of the metals are gone. Anything you want to get to now, it's going to cost you a lot of money to get to.
So it's there.
And
just-
how much of it?
The bottom
but
of the ocean.
How much? Yeah, well, that's. I think deep ocean mining is going to be a big industry. 20, 30 years.
Is that why the aliens are trying to come here to get our fucking
allegedly,
gold?
the Anunnaki. That's why they created humans, was to mine these resources. They didn't
for
have
their
to.
atmosphere.
Something like
Yeah, well, I heard
there's,
that. I
There's
actually heard
there's
that,
a lot of we're getting into way off topic, but there's a
I knew you guys an hour isn't enough.
there is a reason why people see a piece of gold or a piece of silver and there's an instinctual there's something inside when people hold an ounce of gold or an ounce of silver, there's something instinctual like this is valuable. You can feel the weight, the heft, like it's denser than anything you've ever felt.
It's shiny.
It is.
Even before it's processed, it's still shinier than relatively the surrounding around it.
It's the most reflective metal on Earth
I got
in existence that we know of.
3 pounds of silver versus my bank account that's a little more. And I take this every time.
Yeah.
Absolutely. there's you need a balance. Obviously, things aren't going to change overnight. It takes time.
Of course, yeah.
But
The pendulum may be swinging, like you said earlier in the podcast.
It is. The pendulum swings, and I think we're coming to we're going to come to a realization where globalism is sort of not dead, but the BRICS nations are aligning. Like there's things are going to start. Yeah, things are going to start coming into a new era, so to speak. But
well, that's cycles. Do you guys know much about that?
Yeah,
Solar cycles every 88 years approximately.
So there's a famous quote by J.P. Morgan, I believe. I'm gonna find it real quick.
Interesting.
Keep going, because it's a good segue into that topic.
Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I do know, even from my short life, I've started seeing, now that I've gotten a little older, you can see cycles in human behavior and prosperity, depression, and you know the saying, good times create bad men.
Weak men, yeah.
Weak men create bad times.
Yeah.
And bad times create horrible men, and horrible. This is my version.
Yeah.
Horrible men create strong men, and strong men create good times, and good times create weak men, and on and on.
It's just that's the cycle of things. But
right.
So J.P. Morgan quoted, "Millionaires don't use astrology. Billionaires do." There's something to be said about cycles, and I think it's you look at the tide, you look at everything. There was a study that was done that there's during the full moon there's like much more crime or nefarious activities that happen during that time. Like there's bigger forces at play that I don't think people really understand or get, and we may never. But
sure.
It's just hard to understand it, but if you don't acknowledge it or accept it, then you can't. Then you're in the dark. At least if you realize that there's bigger things at play.
If you can start noticing patterns, if you can observe things,
then you can at least try to adapt to it and better yourself. So we'll probably end in the near.
What you got a timer? Is that a timer?
No. But
I thought the time.
No, that's okay. I've been watching the timer the whole time. I tell you what we should do. We should end it because we're getting to a lot of topics that I'm passionate about, but I'm not going to be able to give my full.
It sounds like we have to bring Verne back, is what it sounds.
Yes, I would love to have.
I would love to be a reoccurring guest.
Absolutely,
you guys have me once every couple weeks.
Open door,
once a month.
Of course, yeah. We'll make sure that we get in the schedule and we fit you in because it's been an honest
barely
blast.
Touched anything.
The surface.
Right. Like we probably need a solid 3 to 4 hours just to
get warmed
up.
up.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So there's one thing I didn't talk about that I wanted to.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that, and then we'll end it after that.
Segue that into the next one. The Smith-Mutton Act, and how important it is in the world today, because it's changed everything. It didn't get passed, but it got added into the National Defense Authorization Act a year or two later. And that was the legalization of propaganda. That has changed the world. And young people probably don't see it because they've never known a world that was different.
Anything else.
You guys are right on the edge. You had a little bit of both. I was there for 15 years before. 10 years before it came in, the internet totally changed. You guys remember when the internet changed?
Absolutely.
And the Associated Press changed. The Associated Press.
That's all right.
Keep it going.
The Associated Press is newspapers, most of television.
How they report
news.
things. They don't report news anymore.
Right.
It's here's what you should think.
Right. Well, that act allowed propaganda to be legal, which basically invited
the government,
intelligence agencies, the 3-letter digits into the newsrooms. So it's not a reporter in that newspaper. It's not the reporter reading on NBC. That is legalized propaganda, and it's changed everything, because before they at least had to disguise it. They at least had to make it questionable because it was illegal. And it's changed everything. It's changed everything, especially the internet.
Well, it's crazy that you say that. Just segue that in. I mean, this is a completely different topic, but I want to bring it up because it's related. But the amount of people, why were there people in the FBI employed at Twitter before Elon Musk took it over? Why was that?
Right.
Like, what were they doing there? Like, what was a little moonlighting on the weekend?
I need a couple extra bucks.
Yeah,
I would go work for Twitter.
Punch some numbers.
Right, yeah.
And the C, I don't want to finish it because they probably got algorithms that catch it.
Oh, I'm sure.
You know what I mean?
I guarantee it.
They're not even allowed to operate in the United States. Why are they involved in our news? They're the ones behind most of these problems. Operation Paperclip.
Oh yeah. Well, bring them
The
over.
Nazis.
Bring
them over.
Well, we honestly probably this is Werner von Braun was like the poster child of that. That's why we have the technology we have today. Like that's why we're advanced. We stole all the best scientists from the Nazis.
Yeah.
And we sort of just said, "Hey, you were a Nazi, but
if we kept them in the science room, sure.
Yeah, you're under lock and key, but you know,
we got you."
America's pretty nice.
Why are they allowed? They got out of the science room, let's say that. And they're running wild.
Well, now I mean that's a whole different. We're breaching a subject that I mean it's going to take another 3 hours to cover.
Oh yeah.
But
I will tell you.
Go ahead.
No. I was going to say I'm going to end it because if we get too far into it, we're going to
want to keep going.
Yeah, right.
We got a tunnel to build.
Yeah, right. We're super happy that you're able to come here and make this happen. This was a super great experience to hear your side of J6, a lot of your takes on everything. Amazing. Before we sign off, too, give your plugs one more time for your socials.
Electric Uncle Sam at Northeast Supply Company.
Perfect.
Twitter, X.
Oh, yeah, X. Yep, Twitter, X. Yep, you got it. We will be back next week. Don't know. We'll see if the schedule works out. Maybe we'll get you next week. If you want,
We'll
see how it works.
Doubleheader,
yeah. That might be great.
That'd be better.
Perfect. If not, then we'll just continue on and wait for your arrival again. Obviously, 412-613-1116 and all of our socials. Yeah, please check it out. Our Instagram. We're going to do a little photo op afterwards with Verne here for the Snapchat and everything so that our first video guest. So
Dungeons and Dragons is the only thing that gets in my way of Saturday night.
Oh shit! You're a Dungeons and Dragons
nerds
guy.
out there. When I leave here, I'm going to play. It's Star Wars this week. My buddy runs the Star Wars campaign. I like the traditional Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
I run that in a couple
Understandable.
weeks.
I mean, that's it. Actually, is bad. Good for your brain too.
OG nerd shit. By the way, I used to play back in the day when I was a kid.
Before the internet. Before the internet.
If you fill out a police application, at least in Las Vegas, I had a guy, my boss, trying to be a cop, and one of the questions was, have you ever played Dungeons and Dragons? And if you answer yes, they will not let you be a cop.
That's a whole different story because you can't have over a certain IQ to be a cop.
Well, that too.
It's true. It's true. But
didn't know that.
Different story.
Sure.
Story.
All right. Well,
finish up, brother.
Hey, thanks a lot, man.
Give a brother a...
Oh, we're doing hugs. All right, brother, man. We'll get on here again soon, and I want to hear more from you, and I'm sure the audience is going to want to hear more too. This episode is going to air probably another couple weeks, so we're backlogged a little bit, but it's going to get out there. Either way, thanks, folks. We'll catch up with you next week. See you. Bye.